Hello everyone, Diep here. Thank you all for your continuous support and care throughout the time. I wish everyone great health and happiness. I hope you enjoy watching this video and feel relaxed. Today, let's continue Diep's journey. Diep woke up early, the sunlight streaming through the small window, casting a gentle glow on the cool floor of the small house. She stepped outside quietly, taking a deep breath of the fresh morning air. The surroundings were peaceful, with only the sound of birds singing and a gentle breeze rustling through the trees, making the atmosphere feel calm and refreshing. She began her chores, starting with cleaning the yard. Taking the broom, she swept up the dried leaves and overgrown grass around the porch. Every motion was slow and deliberate, as she savored each moment in the tranquil setting. She tended to every corner of the yard, admiring the plants as they began to blossom, feeling the quiet joy of being surrounded by nature. Once the yard was tidy, Diep moved inside to wash the dishes. She placed the used plates and bowls into the sink, washing them gently, her hands working quickly but smoothly. The light scent of soap and the sound of water flowing created a peaceful ambience in the kitchen, making it feel warm and inviting. As she cleaned, Diep thought about her family and the meals they had shared together, finding contentment in the little tasks she did to care for them. Everything around her was calm, like a part of her simple yet loving life. Soon the family would return, and Diep would continue her work, doing everything she could to bring warmth and care into their home. In the peaceful village, James' mother arrived at Diep's house with a sense of familiarity and a warm smile. She had been in Vietnam for a while, and today she decided to visit Diep's home to catch up with her old friend. Diep, who had already heard from her mother about the visit, was eager to greet her, though she had no idea what this visit would bring. When James' mother arrived, Diep greeted her with a respectful bow and a welcoming smile. "Good afternoon, Aunt. It's such a pleasure to have you here," she said, offering a seat. James' mother returned the smile. "It's been such a long time, Diep. I can't believe how much you've grown. How are you?" "I'm doing well, thank you," Diep replied humbly. "How about you, Aunt?" "I'm doing fine too. Life has been a bit challenging, but I'm managing. Your family has always been such good people. Your mother and I were very close back in the day," James' mother said, her eyes softening as she recalled the past. Diep felt a warmth spread in her chest. "My mother always speaks highly of you too. It's an honor to have you here." The conversation turned to the current situation. James' mother noticed the modest home, but she could tell that it was filled with warmth and love. "This house brings back memories, but I can see how much you've taken care of it," she said, admiring the simple yet cozy living room. Diep, with a quiet pride, nodded. "We do what we can, Aunt. My mother is very dedicated, and we've managed to make it a comfortable place for us." As the conversation continued, James' mother expressed her concern about the difficulties in their family's life. "I know things haven't been easy for you," she said, her voice carrying a note of sympathy. "But you've shown so much strength, Diep. It's admirable how you've stayed so positive." Diep, touched by her words, smiled softly. "Thank you, Aunt. I have learned a lot from my mother. She's always been an example of resilience." James' mother leaned in slightly, her eyes more focused. "You know, I've seen how hard you've been working, especially at the market. Your dedication to your family and your perseverance remind me of how I raised James. But you have something even more special, your spirit. I can see why he admires you." The mention of James made Diep's heart flutter slightly, but she kept her composure. "Thank you, Aunt. I just do what I can. I hope I can make a difference, even if it's small." James' mother smiled warmly, a mixture of pride and sadness in her eyes. "You already are. You've got something that can really inspire him." There was a brief silence, as both women reflected on their own lives and the complexity of their shared circumstances. James' mother, feeling more comfortable now, took a deep breath. "I've always wanted the best for James, and I see that he's beginning to learn what's truly important in life. Meeting you, Diep, has opened my eyes to how much he needs someone who will challenge him to be more than just successful in business. He needs someone who shows him what it means to live a full and meaningful life." Diep was taken aback by the sincerity in James' mother's words. She had always seen James as someone determined and driven, but hearing this, she realized that there was more to his journey. I'll do my best, Aunt," I believe that sometimes we need others to guide us, to remind us of what's truly important. James' mother reached out and gently placed a hand on Diep's. You don't have to do anything special, Diep. Just keep being yourself. It's your kindness and strength that matter most. A sense of understanding passed between them. In that moment, Diep realized that her path, her relationship with James, and even her struggles were all part of a bigger picture. One that had the potential to change not just her life, but also James and perhaps even his mother's life. She looked into James' mother's eyes and nodded, silently promising to always stay true to herself. The afternoon sun cast a golden glow through the window, and the two women sat together, enjoying each other's company. They shared stories, laughed, and exchanged experiences, building a bond that would last beyond just the visit. As the day wore on, James' mother stood up, ready to leave. Thank you for letting me spend time with you today, Diep. I will always be here for you, and I hope you know that. Diep stood up as well, her heart full. Thank you for your kindness, Aunt. It means more to me than words can express. As James' mother left the house, she looked back with a smile. She had found in Diep not just a person who could help her son grow, but also someone who would help herself grow in the process. And with that thought, she knew that things were finally starting to align in the way they were meant to. As the evening sun cast a warm glow over the house, James' mother lingered in the living room, her eyes reflecting a mixture of emotions. She had come to visit Diep, not just to reconnect with an old friend, but also because she had something important weighing on her heart. She watched Diep carefully as they chatted about everyday things, but her mind kept drifting to a subject she had been pondering for a long time. After a long pause, James' mother finally decided it was time to broach the topic that had been on her mind. Diep, she began softly, her voice laced with warmth and affection. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I hope you don't mind me asking, but have you ever thought about the future? About who you want to be with? Or who might be right for you? Diep looked up in surprise, unsure of where this conversation was headed. She had always thought of James' mother as someone kind and understanding, but she didn't expect this kind of question. Well, I haven't really thought about it much. I'm still trying to get through each day and help my family, she replied hesitantly, her gaze lowering as she felt a little uncomfortable. James' mother smiled kindly, her eyes softening. I understand, Diep. Life has its own way of moving forward, and sometimes we don't realize that we're already on the path to something great. But I want to be honest with you. You see, I've been watching James and I've seen how much he's changed since meeting you. He's a good boy, but sometimes he doesn't know what he's looking for in life. You have a way of making him see things differently. You challenge him in ways no one else has, and that's something I truly admire about you. Diep's heart fluttered with a mix of emotions, surprise, gratitude, and a slight unease. She never expected such praise, and certainly not from James' mother. I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to be myself, really, she said softly, still unsure of where this conversation was leading. James' mother took a deep breath, her gaze growing more serious yet filled with affection. I know, Diep, and that's why I'm asking you this. I've seen the way you care for others, how you take responsibility for everything around you. I know my son. He's had his share of struggles, but I believe you can help him become a better person. I truly believe you both have something special, something that could be the foundation of a beautiful future together. Diep's heart skipped a beat. She had never expected such a direct and heartfelt request, especially from someone who, in a way, was still a stranger to her. But I'm not sure if I'm the right person, she began, her voice faltering. I don't want to complicate things between me and James. I've never really thought about being with him that way. James' mother placed a reassuring hand on Diep's. I understand your hesitation, but I see something in you, Diep. You have a strength and a kindness that would balance James' drive. He needs someone like you, someone who sees beyond the surface and challenges him to be the best version of himself. You're the kind of person who can help him find his path in life, just as much as he can help you grow in yours. Diep sat quietly, her thoughts racing. She hadn't expected to be asked such a personal question, especially not from someone who had only recently come back into her life. But there was something about the way James' mother spoke, so openly, so sincerely, that made Diep pause. She had always admired James for his determination, But now, for the first time, she wondered if maybe, just maybe, there was a future between them that she hadn't considered before. I appreciate everything you've said, Diep replied, her voice shaky yet full of emotion. But I still need to think about it. It's a big decision, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to make that choice. James' mother smiled gently, understanding the weight of Diep's words. Take your time, Diep. There's no rush. I just wanted to let you know that I believe in you both. And no matter what happens, I'll support you. Diep nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. Thank you, Aunt. I'll think about what you've said. James' mother stood up, a final smile spreading across her face. You don't have to thank me. I'm just happy to see James finding someone who can challenge him to be a better person. He needs that more than anything. As she left the room, Diep sat back, her mind spinning with thoughts of the future, of James, and of what it would mean to possibly be more than just a friend to him. She knew this conversation had opened a door, but whether she was ready to walk through it remained to be seen. Yet deep inside, a part of her wondered if this was the beginning of something new, something she hadn't dared dream of before.
Các tỉnh phía Bắc như Hà Giang, Cao Bằng, Bắc Cạn. Người Khmer sinh sống chủ yếu tại các tỉnh phía Nam như Trà Vinh, Sóc Trăng, Bạc Liêu. Người Chăm sinh sống chủ yếu tại các tỉnh phía Nam như Ninh Thuận, Bình Thuận. Người Gia Lai sinh sống chủ yếu ở các tỉnh phía Nam như Gia Lai, Kon Tum. Người Ede sinh sống ở chủ yếu các tỉnh phía Nam như Đắk Lắk, Đắk Nông. Dân tộc thiểu số tại Việt Nam có những nét văn hóa, ngôn ngữ, phong tục tập quán riêng biệt, tạo nên sự đa dạng và phong phú của văn hóa Việt Nam. Một số chính sách của người nhà nước Việt Nam nhằm hỗ trợ và phát triển dân tộc thiểu số bao gồm chính sách hỗ trợ kinh tế, hỗ trợ vốn, kỹ thuật và thị trường cho các sắc văn hóa đa dạng và phong tục phong phú của các dân tộc người thiểu số ở vùng núi. Dân tộc thiểu số là những nhóm dân tộc có một số lượng rất là ít so với dân tộc đa số trong một số quốc gia và vùng lãnh thổ. Tại Việt Nam có 54 dân tộc thiểu số, chiếm khoảng 15% tổng dân số của Việt Nam. Một số dân tộc thiểu số tại Việt Nam bao gồm như người Tày, sinh sống chủ yếu tại các tỉnh phía Bắc, Lạng Sơn, Cao Bằng, Bắc Cạn. Người Thái sinh sống chủ yếu ở các tỉnh phía Bắc như Sơn La, Điện Biên, Lai Châu. Người Mông sinh sống chủ yếu tại các tỉnh phía Tây Bắc như Hà Giang, Lào Cai, Yên Bái.